Good morning, IHPA. It's been a little bit since I've done a vlog here, so I've got a number of things to cover, and I'm trying not to eat up too much of your time here on the internet. So anyhow, something important coming up here, and this is just in, 10 days from now? June 17th is our annual Summer Field Day. This year it's going to be in Clarion, Iowa, and it's being held at the Red Shed Event Center. If you haven't registered for this, really hop onto the IHPA website, go ahead and click that register button because you're going to want to come to this. We have basically it's a full day worth of speakers and educational talks that we're doing. So it's basically 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. that day. And the first speaker of the day here will be Rhonda and Patrick Cunningham talking about the AZ Hive system. Then Tom, and please excuse me if I butcher your name here for any of our speakers, but Tom Montavan will be doing the Bee Inspector is Here. Then we have a breakout session here where you can choose from going to see Tom Hart, Dick Ostercamp, or Carole Vannoy give talks. Tom will be talking on the other way to check for mites and treat for mites. I don't know, maybe he has a little known secret that is not common in the bee world and stuff. But anyhow, it's quoted as the other way to check and treat for mites. Dick Ostercamp will be doing a talk on how to make your own solar wax melter and how that can then translate into more dollars in your beekeeping company. Carole Vannoy is going to be giving a talk on the bee and their importance during the war. So I would obviously guess that this is a historical talk because we're not currently at war with anybody. Well, not here in the U.S. or anything. All right, Tom Montavan is back up then after that breakout session and doing a talk on Call the Doctor, I Think I'm Sick. And that talk is actually intensive enough that we will go to lunch, and then after lunch is the second half of that talk. Then there is another breakout session. And at that breakout session, you can come to Andy Joseph's talk or my talk. Andy Joseph is got a talk where it's titled, Look What Happened to My Hive This Winter. It'll be discussing winter losses and the telltale signs of basically what caused your winter. Got off on a side tangent there. But anyhow, Andy Joseph will be discussing all the different things on determining what killed your hive that winter time. My talk will be a sneak peek into my queen rearing operation. And I've done a number of queen rearing classes in the past here. This will be kind of a mix between queen rearing class and basically video of different parts of my operation and stuff here. At least, God willing, we'll have the stuff set up so that we can view things nicely. I will try and see if I can't do some live demo of grafting that would be broadcast up onto a screen, but more than likely we'll have to have recorded footage of that. Anyhow, all that to say, I'm actually working on a very comprehensive video training class on queen rearing that will show you how to put the tool underneath the larva, pick larvae up, graft them into cups. That's the number one downfall to any queen rearing class is sitting there and being told all the practical information, but then not getting the hands-on training, not getting to see the actual mechanic at work in your vehicle. You just read a owner's guide on your vehicle, and now you're trying to figure out how to take apart the engine and put it back together, and it's not near as good as if you actually went to a class and got to see and do all the stuff yourself. So anyhow, that's in the works here. So this will be kind of a mix between the two for this breakout session. After that, we have Dr. Karen we'll just go with Dr. Karen. Doing bee diagnostic testing, and why you should get bee diagnostic testing performed. I'm not real familiar with his work there, but that's probably a good thing. That means it's cutting edge and on the new horizon of the bee industry here that I just haven't heard about this bee diagnostic testing yet. Sir Todd will then be giving a class on how to market and sell your honey. For any new beekeepers, anybody that this is your first year with hives, or maybe even more importantly, your second year with hives, and that you actually are sitting here with one heck of a honey crop, because Iowa has, unless you're in some strange part of the state that has gotten a different weather pattern than what we've seen here in the central part, we have probably the heaviest nectar flow I've seen in 10 years. We got nice dry conditions when the black locust was blooming. We had a great stint of time for the floral sources following that and prior to that. We have an early spring and flowers opening up at times of the year they never open up at. So in April, I was already seeing honey supers get wet with, not honey supers, but my deeps were already, I could do a shake test on them and just have droplets fall out onto the hives. I have different hives that right now have 4 honey supers on them. I probably should go out there and put a 5th and a 6th on some of them. It's an amazing year for honey so far. So anyhow, well, you're a second year beekeeper and all of a sudden you got way more honey than you know what to do with. Yes, you can just put it into mason jars and put it on your picnic table in your front yard and try to sell it that way. But you're only going to sell so much. You're going to have leftover. You're going to be giving it away to friends and family. This class is really geared towards you as a second, even third year beekeeper. It'll go into some of the specifics of, do I need a food license? Do I not need a new food license? There's the new craft food laws that are out there. What information do I need to put on my labels? What are some of the cheap, affordable ways to get labels printed at a small scale? And then going forward, what should I be looking forward to for ramping up and needing larger orders of labels? What are some of the things I can do to sell my honey for another $1 or $2 a pound as opposed to the going rate on the market at the time? So things like that. It's a really important class for anybody that is in the beginning years of marketing your honey. And then that pretty much will wrap up the day for Summer Field Day. Some other things that happened at our most recent board meeting that we had with, of course, the IHPA. The IHPA is going to partner with Howell's Greenhouse to do a honeybee-specific educational area there. They're going to be renovating a spot and have a building, and how do I put this? Within the building, it's going to have information on honeybees specifically. Yes, there'll be some pollinator information there, but so anyhow, Howell's Greenhouse is building this bee-enriched educational center. I shouldn't even call it educational center. I don't know quite the scope of how big it'll be, but it will be a building that you can go into. We'll have informational panels on bees. We'll have educational resources there. We'll have pamphlets and brochures for both the Iowa honey producers, for our youth program, our scholarship program. information on seed companies and pollinator mixes. There's supposed to be a really great tiled section that will be out into sort of like, maybe you want to call it a courtyard in front of the center there, that will have a fun interactive way that kids can learn about the bee waggle dance. Basically, the tiles that are out there will have the kids dancing around and jumping around on the tiles, and will simulate what a bee waggle dance would be like to for that returning honeybee coming to tell all the other workers in the hive where that really great clover field was that she was just visiting. They've got a whole lot of other stuff they're doing, but IHPA, since we are rooted and founded in education of our youth and education of Iowans on honeybees, we have gone ahead and donated a number of dollars here to help fund their renovations and this great learning opportunity. Next up here was information on Bill 457, also known as Bill 676, because I guess as it moves through the legislation, they rename the bills. But that was the tax exemption on the purchase of honeybees. It unfortunately is not going to pass this year. I know we had unanimous votes in favor of it, and then again, unanimous votes in favor. We had all this support and push in government for it. But we were essentially told that we got the paper, we started the process on this and got the paperwork in just too far into the session, and it's buried under a pile of other bills that chronologically get addressed before ours, and that there just will not be time in the session to get it passed this year. So we, through advice there in the government, we will be actually starting it before session this next year and rolling it out probably even before annual conference. So it'll still be this year that we start it for next year. So we're going to be way, way, way in advance here. And we've got probably a dozen different legislators that are on our side pushing for this bill, that are strong advocates from it. We have both sides of legislation in favor of this, both Democrats and Republicans. We have, I just don't want to name drop too many people and put them on the spot here and stuff here, but we have tons of support here. So I'm not going to jinx this and say it's for sure, but I could definitely see this passing next year. It sure should. We at IHPA here, all of us are going to do everything we can to get this bill passed. It's just this thorn in our side because every other aspect of government does identify us as being farmers, as agriculture, as being no different than the person that owns chickens, pigs, horses, ducks, cows, sheep. We have state inspections done on our bees before they can be sold or moved in and out of the state, the same as you would have for sheep. So we have every bit the same scrutiny and the same privileges, the same rights, the same whatever you want to throw into the hat there as terms. We are identical to any other farmer in the state of Iowa, with the one exception of the tax code. The Department of Revenue just does not have honeybees on their list of agricultural products, agricultural items, whatever you want to call them. So, with all that supporting fact and all the people in government there that are pulling for us, it should pass this next year. Fingers crossed. All right. Next up here, this is a little bittersweet. And let me explain this before you take it the wrong way and stuff. Jamie Byer has been with the IHPA for so many years. And while he is not completely going away, he has announced his, if you want to call it retirement, he's stepping down as District 4 Director and as the chair of our legislative committee. He just, at this time in life, is going to focus more on his health and de-stressing. So it's bitter that we are losing Jamie, but the sweet part is that Jamie says he's not going away. He is still going to help out here and there with different committees. He loves the IHPA. He loves working with beekeepers. He loves trying to help out his fellow man. So he's not completely going away. He's just taking a major step back and just helping here and there. And thank you, Jamie, for all of your years of service, all the tons of work you've done, all the legislation you've pushed through, all the times you've helped out at State Fair, all the work you've done at any of the annual conferences, summer field days. You have been a beacon for the rest of us to just live up to. So anyhow, we will miss you, but thankfully we get to keep seeing you off and on. H.R. Cook has stepped up as the chair now of our legislative committee, and we will be looking for a new District 4 director. Shoot, I don't have the map in front of me here, but I'm trying to think here. I probably shouldn't even say this. I think it's Story County that it starts at. Right up there where Boone is at, and basically south, there's this court. I can't even show you here. There's from Boone, and I think Story County, it might just be at the edge of Polk County, going all the way down to the southern border of Iowa. There is a rectangular district in there. There's 6 districts that Iowa's broken up into, so this would be 1/6 of the state. But starting up there near the town of Boone, going straight south will be District 4's coverage area. If you live in that area, please feel free to visit the IHPA website. Look at that area and see if you'd be interested in being our new district director. This would just be a fill-in spot until that district comes up for its normal annual vote. But everybody that is, okay, I shouldn't say everybody, but most people that have filled in end up then serving out multiple terms and stuff there. It's just once you get into the role, you find out that you like it, and it's not a ton of work. It's some work. Basically, you would be the go-to person for emails, swarm calls, issues that come up within your district. You would be the go-to person also for if any clubs wrote into the IHPA asking to have members, the board, come and visit their club at all. So you're the go-to person for those people living within your district. I know that's kind of a loose description there, but that's about it. We beg that our board members serve some time at the state fair, but it's not required. And you would have to come to, is it 2/3 or I am horrible. I should have looked this information up first, but it's either 2/3 or 3/4 of our board meetings you are required to attend. Now, attendance can be via Zoom, so don't think of that as a super big negative, because let's say the meeting is an hour and a half from you and you don't want to drive that far and eat up 3 hours of your day driving, you can attend via Zoom. That's it in a nutshell. There is a time of year where we do ask that our district directors reach out to their, we provide a generic email that you then plug your different mayors, townships, county boards into, and you reach out to them to try to get them to sign up for Honeybee Day along with our governor. So we do that on an annual basis, but it would just be a matter of you sitting at home and sending out some emails to people. All right. Last thing to talk about here, and I've ate up 11. I talked a little bit about this in the past. The IHPA was looking at taking an old program that had been mothballed ages ago, dusting it off, polishing it up, and reissuing it now that we have more board members, more financial support, more everything. Some of those programs that had to go to the wayside in prior years, we can bring back. So again, we're a progressive board. We're trying to give you more programs, do more things for you, give you more benefits. So here's another one. We have formed the position of Honeybee Ambassador on our board. It's a non-voting position, but our ambassador will end up going to the American Bee Federation and to the American Honey Producers annual conferences. They will be going ahead and voicing our opinions on matters that concern the state of Iowa, pushing for legislation at a national level for honeybees. And this individual will also be trying to bring back stuff that they can present at, say, annual conference or summer field day, as well as, it's not a promise, but it's a very likelihood that we will get either live streaming video on our Facebook page from some of these conferences, or that we will have some videos, sort of like what I do here with the vlog and stuff, that will get pieced together from footage from those conferences. I'm happy to announce that Tyler Holton of the Holton Homestead is the IHPA's new honeybee ambassador. Tyler came to us wanting to pull this program out of mothballs. He already was going to be attending these conferences and several others, and has simply asked that IHPA bring back this program, and we basically help out a tiny bit with things like hotel stay and admission to these events, and Tyler brings back all these goodies for us and is our voice at these conferences. It's a program that was done for years and years and years in the past, and then there was a shift in both finances and the participation of the board, of the people that made up the board at the time, and essentially people just didn't want to go to the conferences anymore. Seems strange to me. It seems like a great opportunity, but at that point in time, they thought that it was something that they should step away from. So for the last, I don't know, 15, maybe 20 years, we haven't had an ambassador. So, and they didn't call it ambassador at that time, but a person that goes to the conferences and represents IHPA. So anyhow, please welcome Tyler Holton as our new ambassador. And we look forward to your hopefully live video streams and any other goodies that you can bring back, and ways you can enrich the IHPA on both our Facebook and on our website. So thank you very much. That pretty much wraps up the meeting that we had there a couple weeks ago. I think that's about it. So I hope you are having a wonderful spring going into summer here, that you're seeing all the same nectar flow I am, and that your hives stay healthy this season. This has been Jason Foley, your IHPA president, and thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.